Hey guys, I'm Eric. Welcome to my channel, Two Aligned. I've never filmed a video like this before, but I just felt really called today to talk about the difference between the brain, the mind, and consciousness, because I noticed that a lot of people, including myself, are using these terms synonymously. And I think there's a lot of misconception over what these things are and how they relate to each other. Understanding the differences between the brain, the mind, and consciousness and how they work in tandem with each other, it just unlocks this sense of power within you to manifest the reality that you desire. I'm going to start by just giving an overview of the brain, the mind, and consciousness. And then I'm going to bring in this metaphor that I've created to dive a little deeper and to break it down a little bit more. So your brain is physical. It has no awareness of itself. It is just the biological machinery. It takes in billions of sensory inputs every second. It filters them through the reticular activating system, and it releases chemicals that produce emotions. It's going to send all these emotional and sensory signals to the mind. The mind is the subjective experience of the brain. We don't actually see or observe brain activity. What we experience is the theater of the mind. So the mind takes these sensory and emotional signals from the brain and generates meaning from them. It weaves them into these stories that comprise our beliefs, our expectations, our self-concept, our identity. Now, these stories have the power to shape your brain through neuroplasticity and rewiring. So because the brain and the mind are so codependent, so entangled, I want us to think of them as one inseparable entity. The brain and the mind are their own system. And then consciousness exists almost separate from that. Consciousness is you. Okay, you are not your brain. You're not your mind. You are consciousness. You are the awareness of that subjective experience. To dig a little deeper, I wanted to create this metaphor, and Lord, it took me a long time to really build this metaphor out because I want to make it as clear as possible, but I'm going to call it the streaming theory of reality. Putting the brain, the mind, and consciousness within this context of a streaming platform, and in this case, we're going to use Netflix, you're going to really be able to understand the nuances between all three and how they work together, hopefully. So I want you to think of the infinite field of possibilities, every potential reality that could exist for you as Netflix's whole library or catalog of TV shows and movies. Your homepage is your window, your personalized window into that field of possibility. And your reality is what's playing on the screen, the content, the TV show, the movie that's playing on the screen. So within this metaphor, the brain is still the hardware, okay? It is the machinery, it is the TV, it's the Wi-Fi router. The brain, as the device, can't choose what you watch, and it can't decide what it means, but it allows the stream to be played, rendering the image and the sound, producing the pixels and the sound waves. Your mind is the Netflix platform. So it is the software that organizes pixels and sound waves into a meaningful experience for you. As we know, there's two layers to the mind, right? There's the subconscious mind and there's the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is the algorithm that's curating your homepage. It's the background processes that run about 95% of the show. It's shaped by years of watch history, which represents your conditioning, your trauma, your emotional experiences, culture. It's constantly updating in the background, and it decides what you're actually able to see in your recommendations. The conscious mind, on the other hand, is the search bar, it's the menus, it's the buttons. It's everything that you directly or consciously interact with. Thought, logic, choice, planning, all of that lives here. When you visualize and journal and affirm, you're working in this space, the space of the conscious mind. The conscious mind is deliberate, but it's limited because it only accounts for or drives 5% of all of your behavior. You can, of course, choose what to watch, but the deeper algorithm is still responsible for most of your recommendations. Again, the brain and the mind are one system. It's one entity. Consciousness, we're going to think of as external to the system, something that goes beyond it, but can work within it as well. So consciousness, it's two things in this metaphor. It is the signal, aka the electricity and the Wi-Fi, that powers the whole operation up, but it's also the viewer. As the signal, as electricity and Wi-Fi, it is universal consciousness. It is this ultimate infinite energy, this force that can power up any reality into existence, the awareness in which all versions of reality come to be. And you are a localized, individualized expression of that consciousness. You are made up of the same substance of this consciousness. You are a drop of the ocean. You're not the whole ocean, you're just a drop, but you're made up of the same substance. So you hold the power to observe any reality into existence because you are of universal consciousness. But in this metaphor, you are also the viewer. You are not trapped inside of Netflix. You are the one streaming. You are the awareness that gets to decide what to watch next, what to skip over, what to rewatch. So why is this important to understand? Now we know the difference and the nuances between each, but why is this actually important and how does it affect the way that you approach manifestation? When you realize that you are consciousness outside of the system of the mind and brain, and you're not trapped within this system, it frees you from this idea that to manifest your desired reality, you have to be essentially fighting against yourself. I think a lot of the times with manifestation, it feels frustrating because it feels like we have to fight against our biological wiring. We have to fight against these stories that our mind has woven about who we are, our self-concept, our identity. And as a result, there's a lot of shame and guilt. But in actuality, you are consciousness. You are beyond the system of the brain and the mind, but also work within it. You can let go of that guilt and the shame because it's no longer a battle with yourself. Understanding the difference between the brain and the mind and consciousness also clarifies how manifestation actually works and where your power lies when you manifest. Your power to manifest lies in the fact that you are an individualized, local, unique expression of universal consciousness made up of that same infinite force that can observe any reality into existence, which is the act of manifestation. And when I say observe reality into existence, I think there's a lot of misconception about this too. I don't actually mean that your eyes are moving atoms. To say that would be like me being able to edit the show that I watch on the screen just by viewing it. Consciousness does not move matter, it moves meaning. In quantum terms, observation just means an interaction that allows a possibility to become real because it's being selected from the field of infinite possibility. So when you are manifesting, you're not creating a new show out of thin air. You are simply selecting one from the infinite library of Netflix and you're streaming it on your screen. And manifestation isn't just about, in this metaphor, typing requests into the search bar, trying to control your algorithm by typing in as many requests as possible, because that is you working at the level of the conscious mind, trying to control your thoughts in your mind, trying to manifest from within the system, fighting against the system. Your affirmations, your visualization, these things play a role in manifestation, but it's only a small, minuscule fraction of your whole power to manifest. True manifestation comes from consciousness. And creating from consciousness shifts your focus from control over to curation. Creating from consciousness means mastering how you exercise awareness, how you are engaging with the platform while using it. What are you lingering on? What are you skipping? What are you watching? What are you rewatching? What are you ignoring? That pattern of attention teaches your algorithm what to show you next, what to curate for you in your For You page. If you keep hovering over stories of heartbreak and doubt and fear and rejection and anxiety and depression, that's what the algorithm is going to be trained to show you more of. But the more that you engage with content that is about peace and love and abundance and prosperity, which I assume is more aligned with your desired reality, the more you retrain your algorithm, aka your subconscious, to curate probabilities that match those frequencies. Eventually, the content that plays is going to be completely different and your life is going to look different too. So to summarize, manifestation isn't about searching for a new reality out there. It's about sustaining awareness over the realities that you want to see more of. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, for sticking with me. If you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them down in the comments below. I would love to chat with you there. And I'm open to any feedback as well because I'm pretty new to this whole thing. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and till next time.